It rolls, or should I say, spins around once a year. It's Record Store Day. Not only is the vinyl revolution back in full effect here on Long Island, you might be surprised to learn that the manufacturing process to make albums begins right here in your own backyard. While vinyl still only accounts for 2% of all music sold in the country, sales were up 50% this year, the highest level since 1988. And places like this, Looney Tunes and West Babylon, couldn't be happier. Not only can you get old favorites, you can find new releases from the likes of Taylor Swift and old releases from Led Zeppelin, Bob Marley, pretty much anything that you remember from your youth. Whether it's nostalgia, the liner notes, the packaging, or just the idea of being able to touch your music again, the LP is back. And that's music to the ears of people like Looney Tunes owner Carl Groger. Carl Groger is the owner of Looney Tunes in West Babylon, been coming to this store forever. And did you ever think that you'd see the day where it looks like about a third of the store is going back to vinyl? Yeah, it's amazing. My dad opened the store in 1971, and so we've had the store for 44 years. And when we first opened the store in the 70s, it was all vinyl, and then it went to no vinyl, and now 30% of our business is vinyl records again. It's a bigger increase in CDs, I've heard. The increase in vinyl has just been great. And they're doing work. They're adding more racks. There are more vinyl racks going in. A big collections coming in. We're right in the middle of construction today. We added 12 more vinyl browsers to increase our capacity by about 25% in the store. Right. We just bought a huge 20,000 pieces from a museum curator type of collection, used records, and we have Record Store Day on Saturday, which is our busiest day of the year. Record Store Day. When did Record Store Day start? Record Store Day started 8 years ago. It's a day where all the record labels give independent record stores exclusive vinyl pieces to sell just at independent record stores. And there's about 475 releases this year, of which we will be carrying every single one of them. And I look on the wall and I see Taylor Swift, I see stuff that appeals to youth, I see classics, I see Zeppelin, I see Bob Marley. You pretty much see anything on vinyl right there. Yeah, all genres. It used to be just mostly classic rock, right, and jazz and blues and stuff like that, but now it's pretty much across the spectrum of every genre. So pretty much everything's available. Young people, I understand it's hip with the college age people, right, to come in. Younger people are realizing that listening to music on vinyl is the preferred way to experience music as a true art form. Do you like listening? I do. It's the only way I've ever listened to music my entire life. Yeah, that's great. Yep. All right, thanks very much, Carl. You're welcome anytime. The new release list for record stores like a who's who: Grateful Dead, Phish, Ryan Adams, David Bowie, Captain Beefheart, Johnny Cash, The Doors, Bob Dylan, Government Mule, Jerry Garcia, Jimi Hendrix, Joan Jett, Metallica, Paul McCartney, The Zombies. The list goes on and on. Record Store Day is this Saturday, where the records are sold, along with live performances. But maybe you're wondering where your vinyl comes from. One of the exclusive releases this year for Record Store Day, the 1990 album by punk rockabilly pioneers Social Distortion, which has nothing to do with the jukebox. But that album was mastered right here, prepared for release right here on Long Island, and tomorrow night we'll visit that mastering studio right here in Plainview. For News 12 Long Island, I'm Jeff Jensen. I like this song. It's a good song. What's your first name?
Jess.
Jess? Where are you from?
East Meadow.
Vinyl fan?
Yes.
Why here for Record Store Day?
I'd probably be here anyway, but definitely on Record Store Day.
you like listening to music on vinyl?
Yeah.
How old are you?
32.
32. How long have you been listening to music on vinyl?
Since I was a little kid. I had my mom's 45s and a little plastic player.
What is it about records?
Something about the, I don't know, the way they sound, just physically holding them. Some of the old ones, I like the way they smell.
Looking for anything
big
special?
artwork. No, just kind of browsing. I'll probably pick up jazz vinyl, maybe.
Oh, excellent, thank you. I have found Ashley and
Ashley.
Ashley, the two Ashleys in Looney Tunes. Where are you from?
We're from Babylon.
Babylon, so local. Why do you love? Get closer there. How's that? I'll put your both together. Who got you into vinyl?
I think we kind of got ourselves into vinyl. My family's like crazy musical, and we grew up together. Yeah. So my mom bought me my first vinyl, and then I bought her first vinyl, that was kind of it. We
Right,
just
right.
really
What-
love music.
And why do you like vinyl records? Is vinyl your preferred way to listen to music?
Yeah. Yes, most
And
definitely.
why do you like vinyl records over, let's say, a download, which is so popular, the CDs, which are easy? Why do you like to take a record out of the package?
Because, like, when it's on the internet, it's just so perfect, and you don't have those, like, kind of imperfections that give the music its personality. And, like, I want to hear the person's breaths, and I want to hear, like, I don't know, the imperfections in it.
You feel closer to the music when
Yeah.
you're listening to it on
Closer to the
vinyl.
music.
Yeah.
So what'd you pick up today?
So I have Modest Mouse
You
today.
got Modest Mouse, okay.
Yeah.
I have the Black
Black
Keys
Keys, okay, cool.
and Alt J.
Okay, all right. And
Yeah.
you have this stuff on. Do you own this stuff as a download or a CD, or you picked up exclusively? You came out for Record Store Day exclusively today?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
did.
I still listen to CDs in my car,
Right.
but records are definitely a different experience.
Yeah.
Same goes for you with the record?
Yeah, I definitely buy vinyl first, and then they usually have like an MP3 card, which is nice. But then I mostly listen to vinyl. It just like gives you a different experience with the music. So
You still read the liner notes and stuff like that? What's in there? Or
Sometimes,
not
yeah.
as important, or
Yeah.
sometimes she does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she
I
definitely does.
Yeah. All right.
I'm more like just chill and listen to vinyl all day.
Okay,
so.
cool. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
Have a great day. While vinyl records may only account for about 2 or 3% of all the music sold in the country today, it's at its highest level since 1988. It's Record Store Day, and when you go in the doors of Looney Tunes here in West Babylon, you might think it's 1988 again. What's your name?
Mike.
Where are you from?
I'm from Holbrook.
Mike from Holbrook. You came out for Record Store Day.
Yes, absolutely.
Do you like vinyl?
I love vinyl.
What'd you buy?
I bought Guar.
Album by Guar.
Yes, I did.
And
Yes.
Why do you like music on vinyl?
I believe just the sound of the just the sound of the music. Just the clarity is just so much better than CD. CD, I just find, is just so digital. I think we've gone too digital these days. This is something, from the past, a real blast from the past for me. So, I mean, it's something enjoyable. It's fun to collect, and it really kind of forces you, instead of just having separate tracks like we have on digital, kind of forces you to listen to the entire album as a whole. So it's really great. It's just a great opportunity to really learn more about the music.
Is this your first go around with vinyl? Or
Oh no, I've been.
okay.
I would actually say, I mean, I'm about like 35 now, so I've been into vinyl for about 6 years now. Record Store Day kind of got me into it, and I've been a fan ever since.
Nice. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're very welcome.
While vinyl records only account for about 2 to 3% of all the music sold in the country today, sales are up 50%, their highest level since 1988. And by the amount of customers we've seen coming out of Looney Tunes today on Record Store Day, you would think it's 1988 again. While vinyl LPs only account for about 2 to 3% of all the music sold in the country today, sales are up over 50% this year, the highest level since 1988. And by the sheer number of customers we've seen coming in and out of Looney Tunes here in West Babylon, it almost looks like 1988 again. While vinyl records only account for about 2 to 3% of all the music sold in the country today, sales are up 50% this year, the highest level since 1988. And by the sheer number of people coming in and out of Looney Tunes here in West Babylon on Record Store Day, it almost looks like 1988 again. All right, we have Rudy,
I just
right?
want to say one thing. How could people start a record collection at those prices? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's tough. You gotta buy the used stuff.
I'm old school, man.
Yeah, you gotta buy the used stuff. I know, I bought records for $5.99, $4.99.
Well, I remember when they were even less than that.
Yeah.
In the early days, we used to go to Corvettes.
Yep. I remember Corvettes. So I bought a lot of records of
I
Corvettes.
come from Brooklyn, so we used to buy them on the avenue. And when you moved out here, you had no choice. You didn't really have record stores, You had to buy them in Corvettes.
They paid the mastering engineer way too much money.
That's you. I know. What made you come out for Record Store Day?
I come every year.
You do?
Yeah.
How about getting the record store behind you?
I gotta admit, they have the best collection
What made you come every year for Record Store Day?
every year.
What'd you pick up today?
Some reggae, some Government Mule, some Kinks, and what else did I pick out? Oh yeah, the new Jerry Garcia.
Nice. You like music on vinyl over other forms of
Oh
listening to
yeah,
it?
I
Why?
have 3,000 albums.
Really? Why do you like vinyl?
Sounds better.
Nice. All right, that's all. Cool. Thank